Hey folks, welcome back to part 10 of Batman Arkham Asylum. Alright, I think today it's finally time to rescue Warden Sharp and try to put an end to Harley Quinn's plans. Because ever since the start of the game, she looks like she's already been on the inside and helped Joker really take over the asylum. She seems like a pretty big deal when it comes to villains, so let's make our way to the penitentiary, where we're supposed to go next. Now this time around we're not going to be taking the regular Arkham gates, we'll be taking the abandoned tunnel. And Batman, beaten and bruised, will continue this crazy all-nighter he's having to protect Gotham City from the Arkham and Blackgate inmates, it seems like. I really like how the Joker is using Quincy Sharp to make his new PA announcements instead of the usual narration he gives. It's still hilarious because he forces him to say hilarious things, and it spices the progression of his charades a little bit more, in my opinion. Anyhow, though, there's quite a few enemies down there, and two of them are armed. You can choose to use your glide kick, like you would in the beginning of the game, or if you've been following my progression advice, just use your multi-batarangs. That said though, this episode features a lot of bad fighting prowess for me, I'll have to admit that one. I usually don't batch record, so I'm not really, I guess, in sync or in tune with these battle sequences by the time I do get to record. And yeah, this one's definitely bad, I'll admit that. There's a lot of hits I shouldn't have taken, and there's a lot of combo breaks that I shouldn't have broken, I suppose. But once you're done dealing with all the baddies in the room, you can grapple up to the only wall available and pick yourself up another trophy Riddler. Did I really just say that? Another Riddler trophy. Jesus Christ. Yeah, man, this, I guess, midterm semester ending has really taken its toll on me. Jesus Christ, I'm delirious. Anyway, though, let's continue on to Arkham West. Again, you can use your detective mode to pretty much trail out the game, the waypoint to you. And in these overworld sections, it really helps out because if you remember from a few episodes ago, there's usually snipers now in these guard towers, and detective mode makes that a breeze. Yeah, all you have to do, sneak up like you would on a regular enemy and just take them out. They're not that challenging when they're not so high up or not overlooking a large area like they were over the mansion. Again, there's quite a few enemies, and I think I see a shining stun baton, so I'll use my trusty multi-batarangs yet again in combination with the power batarang upgrade to take these guys out for quite a while. This time I actually get smart and decide to use some of my combo moves, and the fight goes a little bit more cleanly than it has in the abandoned tunnel. So enjoy this pretty cool combo sequence while you can, because later on in the video I go back to sucking again. Again, I really should batch record, man. It would prevent so many mistakes. It would be smooth sailing. It would be like The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker when you're really on a roll. Also collecting collectibles in the sea. Anyway though, there's another little trophy we can find, and it looks like the auto-aim for the Batclaw isn't my friend this episode either, so let's just manually aim at the grate on the wall and pick ourselves up another trophy. By the end of this episode, we're actually gonna be halfway done with all the collectibles in the game, and when planning that playthrough, that seemed like something crazy to say only 10 parts in. But yeah, looks like it's meant to be for a change.
Taped patient evaluation 1. Patient name is Victor Zaz. Diagnosed clinically insane after the murder of at least I'm Dr. Cassidy. Seeing as this is our first session, let's spend some time getting to know each other.
I don't need to know you, Miss Cassidy. Everything is meaningless.
Don't you think that's a very negative outlook on life, Victor?
You've no doubt read my file.
Yes, I have. It says you come from a wealthy family, that your parents died, and how you lost all the money gambling.
And none of it matters.
Why do you keep saying that, Victor?
Because the only thing that does matter is the mark. Have you seen my work, Miss Cassidy?
If you're referring to the marks on your...
Of course I mean my tally marks. And I have a space for yours. Do you want to see where?
And we get some background on Victor's ass. I mean, finally, right? We've taken him down twice in these mini tutorials when it comes to some of our abilities, but we've never really heard anything about him except from the Joker, who mentions him as an old friend of ours. And yeah, that's pretty cool. There's kind of a useless grate over there that I guess showed off anyway, even though you could just sneak up on the 3 of these thugs. Like, there was no grate, but whatever. This area of the game is designed specifically slightly differently than the other areas, if you can notice. There's almost kind of like a shimmer on all the surfaces, and almost kind of like a blur when it comes to the design of the floors and the tiles. I think it's really cool. It's neat because it's just different, at least to my eyes, when it comes to the buildings on the Arkham Island. It definitely has a different glow to it. And if you enter these bathrooms that are completely optional, you can find a trophy in the ladies' room, and you can find a riddle if you scan yourself in the mirror in the female room, actually. And in the male stall you can find the trophy. You know, that made sense in my head when I said it originally, but then thinking about it as I was saying it, yeah, I had to change up a little bit, huh? But yeah, we're actually in the penitentiary now, and most of these dudes that we see around here, they're the real Arkham inmates. As I said, there was a fire at Blackgate that was started by the Joker, and yeah, all the baddies that we fought so far, they were all of his friends from Blackgate. These maniacs screaming in straitjackets, those are the real Arkham inmates.
Taped patient evaluation 5. Victor is not responding well to treatment. Victor, yesterday we spoke about the people you killed.
Ah, the zombies.
They are all people, Victor.
They are zombies. Continuously shuffling through the daily grind, waiting for someone to liberate them.
You mean kill them? The police report states that you've murdered, or liberated if you like, 20 young women in the last 3 months. Each had her throat slit and was left posed.
They were all lucky to be chosen to receive my gift.
I doubt they would agree with you.
Really? How about you, Miss Cassidy? As you take the elevator to your apartment each night, open the 6 locks to apartment 433. Remember you forgot to buy your cat food. Again.
How do you know
As
where
you sit down on your favorite red chair, cat on lap, just waiting for something to happen. I can make it happen, Sarah. I am your salvation.
So, when it comes to Let's Playing this game in particular, I noticed that everybody who does Let's Play of this game, that doesn't do it purely casually, so just playing through the story, has different philosophies when it comes to collectibles, and that's very interesting to me. So when it comes to the character bios, especially that concern riddles or characters that are featured way more in the sequels, those are the ones, you know, that I agree to, I guess, show off or not show off, depending on the influence the characters have in the future of the series. And obviously when you see a bio, you can just easily pause the video and read it if you wish. That's my philosophy on that. But a lot of people also don't like listening to the tapes, and I do.
Stop! Stop, Batman, please! You've got to help my babies!
I'm really not interested in a bunch of flowers, Ivy.
They're in pain, crying for help!
Just stay where you are. Last thing I need is you running free.
Poor children. I'll save
Looks like Poison Ivy's here too. One of the coolest characters designed, really. I'm sure that we'll get some backstory in the Arkham universe from her a little bit later on as well. Because if you remember, Harley Quinn definitely did mention making a visit to the botanical gardens that this island offers for whatever reason. To be fair though, this island really is designed like Hogwarts or something. There's really a lot of buildings that seem redundant or unnecessary.
Harley! Ah! You have to help me.
Ivy? Gee, you look like crap. Maybe I can sneak you some shampoo.
The plants, can't you hear them? They're crying out to me in agony.
Yeah? Well, I really don't have time for this.
Please let me out. They'll die without me.
I don't know, Red. You're not on Mr. J's party list. Oh well.
Please!
What the heck? I'll cut your break.
That feels so much better.
She's a good kid.
I could watch those two all day. What a riot! And speaking of riots, here's a bit of civil unrest I cooked up just for you.
What are you waiting for? Cut me free! He's taken control of the security overrides. I have the sequence generator, but without the terminal in my office, it's useless.
Your terminal has been destroyed. Give me the sequencer.
What? Oh, yes, of course.
And with that, it seems like we have picked up
It's
another piece of
useless.
equipment
Half the
for
code won't get you
the
anywhere.
tool belt.
Be attracted.
The cryptographic sequencer. That's almost a tongue. That's, you know, for a native European dude,
There's always a
that's a
way
real tongue twister.
Always.
From now on, let's call it just a sequencer, okay? Let's make that pact here. That said, though, all of my philosophies when it comes to using or not using the detective mode rather in this game change dramatically once the Joker has released all the lunatics in straitjackets to roam the asylum. They'll usually be waiting
Stay here.
in
Lock
hidden
this
little
gate when I
cells or around corners where you wouldn't expect, and they'll pretty much jump scare you at every opportunity they have. That said, though, now that you know that I'm a huge pussy, we have another upgrade, and despite my own word of warning to myself to upgrade the armor because I'm getting bad at fighting, I decided to go for the sequencer upgrade. There's two available. One of them is the sequencer's power, which allows you, I guess, to have an easier time hacking different doors. But you also have the range amplifier, and that's an upgrade that's actually necessary and more convenient along the way to pick up for not only some riddles and collectibles that, you know, otherwise you'd have to backtrack for, but also because sometimes it's kind of awkward to decipher a code or whatever Batman does in certain spots, and the range really helps with that. It's very useful. It's actually a really cool item in my opinion. I didn't expect to see something like this when I originally played the game. I only expected, you know, something more akin to batarangs and bat claws and whatever other grapple weapons Batman might have in his tool belt. But when I saw the sequencer, I don't know, it really, originally, you know, in the cutscene already, I was kind of iffy about it because I wasn't sure how well it was going to be made into the game. But in my, I guess, experience, it's really intuitive and it's pretty fun to use. It's not that challenging, but you feel cool and accomplished when you successfully perform a hack. That said though, now a lot of the cells, or should I say all of the cells in the cell blocks have been opened, and there are lunatics running about. So keep detective mode on if you're a scaredy cat like me. Also, because all the cells are open now, there's a few collectibles you can pick up that you couldn't have the first time. But looks like we have a showdown with Harley Quinn finally. She's pretty athletic, I have to say.
There is. I know, you're shocked. Come and get me, Bats. I double dare ya.
Alright. Immediately you want to grapple up because all of the floor in the main cell block becomes electrified, and thankfully the Arkham Guard paid the price for that. We didn't for some reason. Maybe we have... Actually, now that I think about it, would Batman's boots even conduct electricity? Are we sure that they're not rubber? Nah, whatever. Well, I guess that's a question for the devs. Anyway though, you'll have this battle sequence on the upper area of the cell block where we picked up a few riddles and interview tapes. It's actually not all that difficult. You've already faced yourself with challenges where enemies are trying to go for guns and walls. Word of advice though, don't do what I did. Wait for them to come into the room before you actually fight them, because if they corral around you at the very entrance of the staircase, you will get hit because of the... It's just purely the way that the game perceives counters and animations when it comes to trying to counter enemies. Also, a very cool Easter egg that I haven't noticed until watching the video is that you can actually see Harley Quinn swinging above you on the chandelier whilst you're fighting her minions. Really cool detail. That said though, we have to turn off the electricity before before proceeding. I definitely made a mistake of just running after her, just jumping off and saying, let's catch her, let's go to the final showdown, and then failing because, well, electricity really hurts, kind of like bullets. And in the office area next to the interview tape on the desk is a little box we can hack. Anytime you see one of these, it's probably a good idea to hack it because there's some goodies behind it. That's usually the case for all items that can be used to open doors in any game. Anyway though, there's more lunatics in this other area of the cells that we previously didn't really do anything in. And yeah, you can see him crouching in the corner like a... well, he is a lunatic. Like even more of a lunatic. So yeah, be wary of those. Anyhow, we've done a lot. We have another equipment upgrade in the sequencer. We've saved Quincy Sharp finally, and we've had our showdown with Harley Quinn as well as meeting Poison Ivy. Next time though, let's finish and lock up Harley Quinn once and for all. I'll see you guys then.